These games are ranked by play score, a standard rating that averages gamer and critic reviews. Opening our list of the top 10 Xbox One exclusives is Voodoo Vince Remastered. It's a cult classic among 360 players for his energetic debut back in 2003. With the powers of magic coursing through the fabric of his patched up self, a mere voodoo doll becomes the platforming icon we didn't know we needed. It was a simple yet challenging platformer with a lot of personality. While he has been forgotten for a while, just like the magic of his birth, this remastered has managed to breathe new life to the platformer. A traditional remaster, you won't find any new levels, monsters, or secrets, but it does a good job of modernizing the game for today's generation. With smooth 1080p resolutions and 60 FPS, his strange world looks more alive than ever, and the game's signature style shines through in every stage. Released years after the original release, Voodoo Vince retains a freshness that makes it feel almost like a new game entirely. Travel through the French quarters of New Orleans, revel in the game's cool jazzy tunes, and eliminate the creatures that stand in your way. Ordinary as some of his platform ventures may be, Vince's magical quest to save his ailing shop owner also has some smart features that make use of his voodoo nature. With his pain reflecting back to his opponents, squish him around to do damage to level bosses or to solve the puzzles in your way. But with a little over 8 hours of content, Vince's silly adventure is regrettably short. It has a play score of 8.17. Number 9 is Powerstar Golf. No matter how unexpected, golf games have sneaked themselves into video game history, and has become some sort of a staple in the industry. In a square-off against Sony's Everybody Golf series, the Xbox One is definitely on par with the competition. Steering away from the cutesy animal visuals and opting for a more western, cartoony look, Powerstar Golf shows off its animated movie-like characters that really seem to fit into their super-powered performances. Just like most games, Powerstar Golf offers the relaxing tranquility that's inherent in the sport itself. But it takes it to a whole new level by adding a lineup of characters with their own unique skills and personalities, and topping it all that with a robust progression system. The courses themselves might not be any special, but it ensures that there's never a subpar moment as you shoot for birdies with your special moves, take bonuses from your caddies, and gain experience for each one of your actions. Those three mechanics form an impeccable trio that create an overall addictive gameplay experience that lets you sink holes, hours, and more holes. Despite its addicting arcade atmosphere, the game has received pretty mixed reviews. While it offers a rival mode that lets you compete against your friends' performances in an asynchronous multiplayer, it just doesn't seem to match up to an actual online multiplayer mode. It has a play score of 8.38. Number 8 is Max: The Curse of Brotherhood. Microsoft is a hot pot of good platformers and Metroidvanias. This Xbox One exclusive is a sequel to an adorable 2010 adventure game, Max and the Magic Marker. The Curse of the Brotherhood is a captivating platformer. Take the role of Max as he suffers the consequences of banishing his obnoxious little brother to a mystical realm. The task is simple: rescue your brother. As you descend into the game's magical world, you'll encounter mystical beings not familiar to the real world. Magic is required, and that's why the game's main feature lies in its magical marker. Use this powerful object to manipulate the flow of your journey. Solve puzzles by pulling out a cliff from the ground, creating a water sprout, or growing a vine. However, these moves are limited and players must think before the marker runs out of ink. Throughout the adventure, players will encounter even more difficult challenges. The need for faster reflexes can be a chore, but for adept players, it's a fun experience. Wonky controls aside, the game is brimming with beautiful visuals. For a 2013 game, it's oozing and sparkling with colors that somewhat resembles a Pixar film. But the game is not perfect. As mentioned before, the game is marred with clunky controls. But that doesn't stop the players from forgiving it, and enjoy the bountiful amount of collectibles and its gorgeous world. It has a play score of 8.44. Number 7 is State of Decay Year 1 Survival Edition. Powered by the CryEngine, Undead Labs gives the zombies a reanimated feeling for the Xbox One. During its Xbox 360 days, it suffered numerous issues including UI problems, responsive issues, and bugs that creep out in every corner. Year 1 Survival Edition will bring out all the good things including improved combat, graphics, UI, and more. For beginners, State of Decay is a single-player adventure that takes you to a land filled with the undead. Create your own story by meeting new faces and build settlements so that you could live to tell the tale, of course. Its third-person gameplay was met with good praise, but its lack of multiplayer made the game boring. But either way, it's still an enjoyable experience with a better sequel coming. As mentioned, this edition features new stuff including 2 gameplay modes called Breakdown and Lifeline. The former takes you to a roguelike experience of a never-ending onslaught. The latter is a story-driven campaign that takes you to the city of Danforth. Not to mention, the graphics were upscaled to 1080p, and the UI is fine-tuned to almost perfection. Adding to that, this edition contains all the DLCs that made Xbox 360's Zombie Survival a success. It's the complete State of Decay experience, and we can't ask for more. We can't wait as to how the sequel would work, especially with its new multiplayer mode. State of Decay Year 1 Survival Edition has a play score of 8.58. Number 6 is Dead Rising 3. Funny how 2 zombie games managed to enter Xbox One's list of exclusives. Capcom's third major entry to the famed zombie-slaying franchise is back. Move away from the protagonist of its predecessors and step into the shoes of Nick Ramos, a simple man trying to find his way around life in a zombie-infested California. Much like its predecessors, it's an undead playground. If the Grand Theft Auto series was a hub for mayhem and destruction for fictional civilians, then Dead Rising 3 is like George Romero's Brain without a much serious tone. Third time's the charm, so Capcom did so well with amping up the degree of zombies present on screen. You're literally plastered in a world where you can do anything to these pathetic brainless monstrosities. But the joy comes in with the things you do. The best part about every Dead Rising game is the amount of things you can do. In 3, everything is improved, from the combat, customizations, and of course the zombie count. Go to the nearest gun shop or mall to snag that perfect weapon combination with a badass suit. Want to build a laser gun made of microwave? Experiment with your heart's content. Compared to its predecessors, there will be no Zombrex finding this time. Instead, the city is about to blow up and you must do whatever you can in a span of a few hours. Do side quests, find the perfect vehicle, and survive the carnage. It has a play score of 8.69. Number 5 is Kalimba, a shining example of video games done right. It shows us that you don't really need a 3D, realistic graphics to have fun. Kalimba takes into the world of co-op puzzle platforming with a colorful tropical twist. While there are hundreds of couch party games out there, Kalimba nails almost every rule in co-op party game creation, and that's just one of the best things about it. Gather all your friends and take a mind-bending trip to the island of Kalimba. With the island's protective totem destroyed by an evil villain, you, the noble shaman, are tasked to save the day with your respective totem pieces. Playing alone or with your friends, control each of the pieces and avoid color-coded obstacles using your acquired skills and reflexes. Offering a worthy challenge in single-player and co-op mode, its demanding stages might put a bit of strain on your relationships, and don't say that we didn't warn you. Even with its simple mechanics, Kalimba is riddled with excellent ideas all throughout. Its basic premise gets reinvented and reused in imaginative ways that makes for brain-teasing and patience-testing fun. With its lively visuals, responsive controls, and frenzied multiplayer, it's the perfect party game for your Xbox One needs. Short as it is, it offers just the right amount of energy and creativity that will make you want to play it again and again. Solve puzzles, test your reflexes, and just go have fun. It has a play score of 8.8. Number 4 is Gears of War Ultimate Edition, the pinnacle for cover-based shooting games. This remastered version reminds us that the series has come a long way since its debut in 2006. Under Microsoft's The Coalition, this was the first Gears title before their Gears of War 4 debut. It revitalizes the series' decade-old origin with enhanced lighting, graphical updates, and improved textures. The story remains the same. Marcus and the gang, now looking more real than ever before, are inside an endangered planet Serra from the threat of the Locust Horde. Humanity is at a standstill and it's up to the Delta team to stop the planet's imminent doom. Get ready for a game filled with feels, thrill, and heart-pumping action. Equip your badass weapon and lead these badass fuckers to victory. Hear every yell, screech, growl, and boom from every direction. Not to mention the 1080p improvement makes it all the better. Shame it's locked at 30 FPS, but that's not a problem. As for its Ultimate Edition title, the game offers 5 new chapters that was once part of the PC original. It'll add more layers to the story and action. 2 new multiplayer modes are also added called King of the Hill and Team Deathmatch. It's pretty much self-explanatory and it adds a bit of fun to the game itself. Feel the gut-wrenching violence and gore with you and your friends. It's a well-loved classic with a good remaster. This game has a play score of 9.02. Number 3 is Killer Instinct Season 3 Ultra Edition. Taking its roots in the beloved arcade era, Rare and Midway's take on the fighting game genre found an underground success. But, fast forward to a few decades, the Killer Instinct franchise finally makes its high-definition comeback, shedding its pixel origins to welcome a more future-friendly look. While it borrows many elements from fighting game genre giants like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, KI still has enough original ideas to merit a place in video game history. It has its own mix of cool, wacky, and edgy roster of heroes that are not only fun to tinker around with, but also balanced to fit in each of your fighting needs. And what really sets the franchise apart is the remarkable dedication to their fans with their reactive dev support. Its third season channels its retro roots with costumes, accessories, and colors from its arcade era. And with the addition of 8 new fighters, you can wreck the arena with the Alpha Toad Rash, or control the battlefield with Kim Woo's Dragon Nunchucks. With great balance, awesome sound production, and friendly fighting mechanics, Killer Instinct is a great game for veterans and newcomers alike. It has a play score of 9.09. Second place is Forza Horizon 2, one of the pride and joys of Xbox systems. The Forza series has had a long reign in the halls of the racing game legends, with each title just brimming with dazzling collections of cars, beautiful physics, deep car customizations, and time-tested arcade entertainment. And this second installment of the Horizon series stays true to all of that, while their latest title, Horizon 3, also enjoys quite a following among gamers. 2 manages to capture victory by just a hair thanks to its exclusive car offerings that was unfortunately left out in their release. Retaining the gameplay elements of the previous title, it also managed to sneak a few exciting features. Just like the 1000 Club in the original, worked through a set of challenges with the new bucket list in places like France and Italy. A system seller by its truest definitions. But it introduces players to the remarkable power of the console. For many, it was their introduction to the spectacular beauty of the franchise, delivering the gameplay experience they've been long searching for in the racing genre. Drive past their picturesque towns, drift through their gorgeous curves, and appreciate the polish and complexity they deliver in the details. It sets the standard for the new generation, and today's games are still struggling to keep up. For a title release about 3 years ago, it can comfortably compete against the other giants in the industry with its clean-cut UIs and impressive realism. It has a play score of 9.23. And the best Xbox One exclusive so far is none other than Ori and the Blind Forest. Set in a magical, decaying forest, follow a tree spirit named Ori as he fights the very evils that haunt the land. In a gripping and emotional opening sequence, watch the essence of humanity crumble in the face of darkness. But hope is not lost. In this master-crafted Metroidvania adventure, guide this adorable creature to save the forest. Developer Moon Studios' attention to detail gave life to this wonderful platformer. With the light of Sane, accompany these two in a grand quest to restore the beauty of their world. Filled with the beautiful and breathing backdrops, travel from one place to another using Ori's pulsating powers. Throughout the game, areas will be unlocked once a necessary skill is acquired. Meet the certain requirements to harness that ability and use it when traversing difficult locations. It really rekindles the old fire of the classic Metroidvania games that reward exploration and challenge. But compared to the other Metroidvanias, Ori has a unique gameplay element called Soul Links. This enables him to save at any point in the game with the right amount of energy. Explore fiery volcanoes and desolate temples to uncover the inner machinations of its mystical universe. The emotional ending, the amazing art style, the fluid gameplay mechanics, and a beautifully haunting soundtrack, Ori and the Blind Forest deserves all the love it could get. We can't wait for its sequel sometime this 2018. This game has a play score of 9.34.